All right, all right, all right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Yes, it is Friday. Woohoo! If you're wondering why we are about 5 minutes late, it's because poor old Ryan was going to happen one day. I knew it was going to happen. It happens to everybody. It's one of the hazards of this job, is that ultimately one morning, you know this, Simphiwe, one morning when you least expect it, you're going to wake up late and you're going to go into a flat panic because this isn't like some other job, right? Where if you clock in 10 minutes or half an hour late because traffic was bad or because you had some delay at the kids' school or you had a nosebleed or whatever the fuck it was, people aren't going to go, oh my God. The whole company's not going to come down to reception and say, why are you late? When you do a show like we do and you are 10 minutes late, then the entire audience goes, what the hell, man? We woke up. Can't you get your life together? And you do feel like absolute shit. So this has happened to me. It's happened to you. It was only a matter of time before Ryan's perfect record was blown up. And today is the day. So well done, Ryan. While he's busy panicking, brushing his teeth in a hurry, forgetting to put on socks, all that kind of shit. We are ready to get going this morning. All right, so Simphiwe, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You came along yesterday. Simphiwe was there when I made a speech at the New Gen conference, which they had in
Mhm.
San about, about media and about podcasting and about all of that stuff. It seems to have gone pretty well. Was it all right? What did people say once I'd
Yes.
left?
Oh, your name got brought up a lot by the next speaker. I
Oh,
feel like she almost copied your presentation. She was just like, so as Gareth said,
but
I
she
da
wasn't
da da da
she
da
wasn't
da
she
da.
wasn't arguing with me. She wasn't saying I was talking shit, right?
Oh no, there were some points where she disagreed with you. Like she's
Oh,
like, I don't fully agree with what Gareth said regarding Twitter. Da 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 da. And then
oh,
like 2 minutes later, Lebang and I almost had a bet. Like, how many times is she gonna say Gareth's name? Like,
oh,
and
that's great. Good.
yeah.
You go in, you disrupt things. I walked in, Shame poor Lebang had to put together a slide presentation for me because I've never used those before. So I said to we'll use these pictures, we'll use this stuff. So we put together a little thing the day before. And then I don't think I used very much of it, but it looked nice. And then I didn't have any script, so I was just going all over the place. And then we took a bunch of questions, which was fun. But you know what? These things are cool to do. And we're still out there telling the story of podcasting. We're still out there telling the story of our audience, telling the story of kind of how we're doing things differently. And I think, a lot of people still need to hear it because there are plenty of people who don't know anything about what we're doing. And
Mhm.
it's good to get out there and spread the gospel, so to speak.
Yes. And then we also met like a listener of the show. She
Oh,
never comments, but her dad sometimes is in the comments. He stays in
oh,
Midrand, and every time we bring up Midrand, he gets a bit touched. So, I, you know,
oh.
so it was also
Midrand,
good. We got to meet.
in that crime hotspot and pothole infested shit show that is Midrand. That place. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, the place where the guys don't ever have furniture. That one. You see that one?
that's
Yeah.
the one. Well, I mean, listen, let's be fair. I mean, we all know people from Midrand, and there are different kinds of Midrand. There's a Midrand and there's a low Midrand.
Midrand.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the Midrand you should be embarrassed about and the Midrand you shouldn't.
Hmm.
You're
And I judge you. I judge you hard.
the one who's embarrassed. That's your business. That's you. That's on you. It's got nothing to do with me. So we will have Celeste Ntuli with us a little bit later, and I'm always thrilled to have Celeste around. She's very funny, and she's got a brand new show on, which is back on at the 27th of May at Emperor's Palace. We'll tell you about that later on. And she's got some of her friends, just Riyad Musa, Tfisonene, Mark Banks, Conrad Koch, uh, Mutu Murugan. They've got Mark Lottering. I mean, this is a big lineup. It looks very, very good. So we'll tell you all about that later on. And we've got plenty of other stuff to talk about this morning. Ben will not be joining us. He's on some kind of golf tour. Now, you know, I know Ben is not the standard or typical guy who needs to go on a golf tour to escape from his harpy wife or any of that stuff, because that's what most guys do. They go to the golf course to get away from a terrible, terrible wife. He's got this thing. He's got this bunch of friends, and I think every year or even twice a year they go away and they do this. And it seems to be like the most fun thing ever. Like if I played golf, I'd be interested in doing this, but I'm not a golfer, so this would probably be the worst thing in the world. But actually, it's just an excuse for drinking. So I think you cut straight to the drinking, and you don't need to play the golf, right? That makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, but I also feel like golfing, they need to explain it to me, because all I know about golf is handicap, and I still don't know what that is. And every time I meet someone who plays golf, I'm like, oh, so what's your handicap? And then they talk and talk and talk, and I'm like, I still don't know what you're saying, sir.
Yeah, well, rather don't ask that question then, because a lot of people who don't play golf, including me, don't entirely understand a handicap. It's meant to be like a number that you subtract or add to your score, because that's your ranking. So if you're playing with a bunch of professionals, they play at a much more difficult handicap, as I understand it. So often when you hear the word handicap, you immediately think of like, oh God, it's people in wheelchairs and shit, right?
Yes. I'm like, what disability is this now? Which one is this one?
I can't believe we're doing this without Ben on the show. He's going to laugh. When he hears about this, he's going to think it's hilarious. I stringently avoid anything to do with golf on the show, right?
I'm just like, make sense. But I also feel like the people that play golf do not explain what that is to non-golfers. That's why I'm so like, what is that?
Well, okay. So basically, the better you are at a golfer, the lower your handicap is. So that's pretty much how it works. So that's all you need to know. If someone's got a very low handicap, it means they are a very good golfer. So do not like think you could play against them. Anyway, that's lots of fun, and I'd love to sit and talk about golf all day, but we will not. Instead, we've got much more important things to talk about. Simphiwe has a question, and I think this is probably a question lots of us have encountered in the course of things. What's going on there? Have we got Celeste Ntuli in the studio?
Yes, and she just bumped her knee. That's what you heard.
Celeste,
good morning.
Hello,
my God, after getting lost in this maze coming in here, where did you get this place, Gareth?
We do it on purpose. It's to test. Like the very stupid people can never find us.
Oh, Lord. I had to ask the security twice, and they're like, Sissy, we said go down. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's go.
And then you still did the walk, ne?
I did the walk, and now I bumped my knee. See the things I do for you, Gareth.
Listen, you gorgeous woman. I'm so glad you're in, but don't pretend you're doing it for me. You had load shedding, so you would have been in the dark anyway.
The way I was like, oh my God. And it's exactly at your time, 6 to 8. So I was like, you know what? Go to the studio. Maybe you get hired today.
Not that you need me. Congrats on being on the lineup of Kings and Queens of Comedy again. Of course they would have you. You without you, it wouldn't be the Queens of Comedy. They'd only have the Kings.
Thank you so much, Gareth. Thank you. I'm very happy as well. I'm back on comedy completely now.
Yeah,
trying to get that international vibes. I have to ask Trevor when he comes here, how did he do it? I can't stand the load shedding. I need to be an international comedian now.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, you bumped your knee just now, and the same thing happened to me. Exactly, I kid you not, exactly 5 minutes before it happened to you. I turned like this, I lifted my knee, and I smashed it against this desk in front of me, and I'm like, fuck. And I did. I went.
Thank God my mic was off. I think I said the same thing. And the thing is now with our age and knees, Gareth. Oh,
we're so old. You're probably gonna have a bruise. I'm probably gonna have a bruise now as well. So
yeah, or maybe even the knee itself not working. And sometimes you bump the knee and the ankles are not working, and you're like, okay, which one is this one now?
All right. So, you look fantastic for this time in the morning. I mean,
thank you. Oh my God, I just did my facial.
Yes,
Gareth, if you're a single girl, you must try your best.
Yes.
Well, I mean, isn't your show still called what? Money and Men?
Money and Men. I was trying to get Money and Men. I got neither.
That's so much fun. But do you really? Can I ask you honestly? Do you really want a man? Because I think you are having a good time. I think you're enjoying your life. I think you can do what you want. If you had some guy, especially if it was a Zulu guy, he would tell you what to do, and you would be furious. I don't think you'd handle that very well.
Let me be honest, I need a happy guy. You know, the Zulu guy thing, oh Lord. I'm Zulu, I know the culture. So I want the non-cultured one. So I must go for, you know, coconut slash
How you doing? Croissants this morning?
Croissants this morning.
Get some guys. Hi, Celeste. My name is Sibusiso. I went to Michael House, and I've got a house in Midrand.
And I know we are sitting on camp chairs.
There we go.
I know I want a man, guys. I know I seem happy, very happy. And I think also, I say this even on my show, Money and Men. That's why women are encouraged to date and marry young. Because I think the minute we discover ourselves, oh my God, it's nice to be a woman.
But wait, when you know your worth, it's very lonely there.
Hey, it's very lonely.
Very
People,
lonely.
you know, breadwinners and women who knows their worth. Oh, relationships are horrible. Unemployed people, bread receivers. Oh, they always have lovely relationships. You go home, they're on baby number 4. You're like, you guys are good.
They need that relationship, or else they're back on the streets.
Yeah, I always say this. That's why I'm saying money and men, because money and relationships, oh Lord. You're going to have to, and actually, even if without like money itself, you have to lower your knowledge capacity. Yeah. So that's why I'm blonde. I'm trying to be. I thought they were going to take that whole literal thing. Damn blonde. I was like, okay.
I can talk to you.
My voice doesn't help.
Simphiwe also went blonde for a while, right? Was that
Yeah,
also
I
to
did.
dumb yourself down so that men weren't intimidated by you?
I'm trying everything. I've gone red. I've done blonde. I've cut my hair off. I've had the afro. The only thing missing now is the wig and the lashes. And I'm a con girl.
And literally, that's what's standing between us and relationships. This
yeah,
short hair business. I mean, if you have afro hair, they say revolutionary. You're like, no, it's my hair. I'm not revolutionary. You cut the hair short, they're like, it's too confident. I'm like, oh, Lord.
Okay. I know I'm going into dangerous territory here, but from a black woman's perspective, why the hell does everyone else project their political shit onto your hair?
Yeah, because like it's that whole, I don't know, it's a stereotypical thing. I don't know what it is. But the whole thing of if you keep your hair, wow, that means you love yourself, you know. That means you're not like others that buy Gareth's mom's hair. And so, you know, like you are with the natural vibes, but it's not really like that.
No, because it could be what you want to do. And
exactly.
I know one absolutely gorgeous black girl who shaves her head completely. And that's she's really not making a statement. She just likes
it's weird that only white men will understand our afro and shaved head and short hair.
It's not all
our black men. Oh, most white men love natural hair. Listen, my sisters are married to white guys. They just like, oh, you look so nice. They just came and washed their hair.
Oh my God. That's so funny. All right, so Sanele says he's making some coffee first thing in the morning. Do you have an everyday wake up, or do you wake up whenever you want because you've got shows in the evening? Are you more of a a morning person?
I'm a seriously morning person. Like literally, I got home at 1:00 last night because I had a gig. I slept, but because I'm such a morning person, I even have a body clock. By 4:45 I was up.
Yeah.
I wake up. It's the rural girl in me. Never
Teach me thy
stopped with
ways,
this waking up.
because,
No, I
wow.
wake up so early. It's as if I'm dating a taxi man. I wake up it's as if I'm dating the taxi driver. You know, taxi drivers wake up at 3 a.m. So I wake up very early. So I'm good. I have my routine. You know, I used to wake and just relax and do things, but I enjoyed the morning. I won't lie.
Well,
I enjoyed
the reason I ask is because for a lot of people who have a routine, that's fine. I admire those people. They're disciplined, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can have your alarm is set for the same time every day. You make yourself a cup of coffee, you go to gym, you do whatever you want to do. Here's the problem. No, it used to be fine. And then load shedding came along, like it did for you this morning. And now, like people
let me be honest.
Because you can't shower in the cold water in the dark and then have a good day. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. If you're sitting there in your bathroom and you bump because you're trying to dry yourself off, but you can't see anything.
Oh my God.
You got your phone torch thing on because you don't know what else. It's horrible, man.
No, I'm also using load shedding in my advantage. Like I use it for my intermittent fasting.
Oh,
okay.
I eat when there's electricity because I can warm the food. So that means if I have electricity from 6 to 8, there goes my and then for real though, because as much as I wake up very early, I do not have a routine that says wake up at 5 and go and exercise. Sometimes I wake up at 5 and I binge on a series that I've been wanting to watch. Sometimes I wake up at 5, I read. Sometimes I wake and bake. Sometimes I wake up and do certain things. You know what I mean? Like I don't have one thing that I'm doing. But now because of electricity, oh Lord, maybe I'll wake up at 5 and be like, okay, there's no electricity. Let's go skip and exercise a bit outside by the veranda and I'm done. You know what I mean? So I use the load shedding to my advantage. When there's no electricity, I'm like, okay, what to do?
Yeah, this is the problem, right? Because also now everybody's schedule used to be according to their schedule. So it would be like we work from 8 or 9 in the morning and we finish at 5 in the afternoon, and that's most people's work day. Now, because of this, it all changes. Like suddenly you've got people going, well, I would love to do that meeting at 9, but we're going to have to move it to 11 because I've got load shedding. So it gets your whole day. And you see people doing weird things. Like yesterday, for example, I went to the gym. And I normally never go at like 5 in the afternoon because it's way too busy and there's no point. You just can stand around waiting for other people, right? And I mean, here I am. I'm assuming that you care about this shit at all. But then
I do care.
Like a million people and I was like, there was no point in me going there. It was actually stupid to even do it. But everybody's also going to gym because there's power and water there.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see that one coming, that we are going to do the same thing, all of us, because of the electricity. And then, of course, we'll find ourselves in same spaces.
That's the worst. That's the worst because you get to gym and you're like, yes, I'm going to enjoy the hot water. And you're like, oh, there's 30 of us. Yeah. Can I just want to...
Honestly, South Africa, can we have like, I feel like we need to have a proper meeting, not the politicians.
Yeah.
Oh, a family meeting.
Not the parliament people, literally the South African citizens and Eskom. I don't know who could represent Eskom there because they're resigning every 6 months. But really, we need to talk.
Did you hear this headline yesterday? I read it out on the show as it was printed because I could not believe it was true. But Eskom said yesterday, this is how useless they are, right? I mean, we think they're the most useless thing ever, and then they come up with a new uselessness. So
they take it to another level.
New level. So yesterday they said, hey guys, listen, we know everyone is struggling with load shedding, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, yeah, who you fucking kidding? And then they go, can you not charge your inverters and power banks straight after load shedding finishes? They want us to, they actually don't want us to, our devices, our power banks, for God's sake, so that our phone can have some. They say, like, don't do that.
Wow. So this is a load shedding stage 35.
Exactly. Yeah, where they tell you what to charge and not to charge.
This is crazy.
That's right. Look here, Tracy.
Sometimes I get scared. There are things that, some people used to say and they don't bother you. Like, we are getting to Zimbabwe. Like, now, wow. We might as well change the flag at this point.
I was in Zimbabwe a couple of weeks ago and I was like, these people have power 24/7.
Are you kidding me? Is it like that?
How the time?
No, Gareth, please don't say that. It's going to be...
It's what I experienced. I'm not saying it's like that everywhere in Zimbabwe, but I swear that was what I don't know if they were using
we can need that. I think also we must talk to our traditional healers. Can't they do anything because they can create thunders and things?
No, because people must believe in the thing. It doesn't work. People must first believe in the thing. But also, like talking about like Eskom telling us not to charge our devices. I saw here, I'm trying to find it, but basically there's an article that got published about how we are meeting the emissions requirement due to our load shedding.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. So due to like load shedding, we are kind of saving the planet.
Why you guys are depressing me with this load shedding story? So we can't charge, and they're saying we're doing such a
such a great job of saving the planet because we've lowered down our emissions. What because of load shedding, essentially.
Celeste, they are claiming that we are doing such good work for the environment, and we're meeting.
And I'm the comedian here, so what you've been telling me is much more than what I said last night on stage. So imagine, as South Africans, as we are complaining with load shedding, well, we are on the right track.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and people are saying like, I think we should paint "Get Fucked" on Eskom's driveway just to clear up any ambiguity in our relationship.
No. Eskom, they like when someone was saying that, you know, those when you walk the guys during lockdowns, men realize that they don't have robes and stuff. They're walking around with trench coat in the center.
This brings me to my question. Gareth, since you're the only guy, I guess you have to represent all men. Do men have pajamas?
And slippers. Some men walk around the house with kick babosas and, you know, those shiny shoes.
I just need to know. I really need to know. Is this a black thing? Is it a white thing?
You know those pointy shiny shoes? You have them, Gareth.
All right.
The kick babosas.
So here's what I think. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I don't know what all men are doing, right? I have pajamas, but I swear I've used them 3 times in my life. And it's for when you get invited, because guys, we sleep in a t-shirt and underwear. That's all, whether it's winter or summer. Because it's a pain in the backside. Like pajamas, I always find if I'm in bed with pajamas on, they get all like they twist in your legs, and you know why would you wear pants to bed?
Wow.
I don't get it.
Oh my God. I'm a morning person, fine, but the way I prepare for myself to go to bed, every pyjama, every season.
Yes. You have the short ones, the long ones, the summer ones, the winter ones. You have the mechi. You have the dress. You have the silk. Come on now, Gareth. Going to bed should be like another outfit change.
It's much harder.
Exactly.
Harder to be a woman.
And you know what? I sometimes even like choose as if I'm going to go outside. I'm like, which one to wear today? Should I wear pink or I like this one today? You guys are missing out. Oh my God.
So, okay. The reason why I ask is because all my guy friends say they don't have pajamas. And I was like, what? Why? Come again? That doesn't make sense. And then I was like, okay, I only have male friends that are black. So is this a black thing? Or is it a universal men thing? And clearly now,
I think it's a universal men thing. They don't have pajamas, robes, and slippers.
Yeah.
They walk around with trench coat and shiny shoes.
I do know a lot of guys who have like a robe, a bathrobe, or a dressing gown, and they'll wear that if they have to like wake up in the middle of the night and go and check for a noise or whatever it is outside. So I know a lot of guys have those, but I promise you, for me anyway, I can't speak on behalf of all men. There are a lot of people in the comments who've got different points of view, so we might want to look at those. But I don't, it's too much effort. And the only time I've ever worn my pajamas is when I've been invited to a pajama party, right?
Okay.
You know, you get invited to this, and that's like twice in my life. So ages ago, I was like, it's a pajama party. I better fucking have some pajamas. So that's why I got pajamas. I've never worn them to bed. It would be weird. Also, I think it's very much an old man thing. I think like a lot of old men. Yeah.
They're cute. Wow.
No, it's just a men thing because the boys I know are 25, 28, 27, 30. So please, it started very young, that thing.
All right. Well, I mean, men's PJs are their boxers, says Goon. Simon says, I sleep naked. It's comfy. David Sachs says, t-shirt and undies. That is it, folks. Yeah, you see.
Wow.
Even Cabello says, I do not understand the concept of PJs. My wife tried to buy me some, but I refused. See?
Yeah. Well, okay, I understand KB has a wife, so it's like,
Well,
you know,
Kampamba says,
let me just come with my underwear. It's fine.
Kampamba says, Haibo, our parents raised us well. Shower at night, no underwear, PJ pants, old shirt, free the junk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably
Well, I mean,
that's why some women have male pajamas, because they are so comfy. I
Oh,
once bought them. I was like, I know they're male PJs, but damn, the room is so nice. You feel like, they're big, they're hanging, they're loose.
No, but also you can find, like, I know I'm a big girl, so I find a size.
Exactly.
In the boys section.
And also, I love, you guys are missing out the way they make your pajamas so nice. Sometimes I wish they make ours like that, because the fabric is so warm, like most especially in winter. You know those checked ones, those grainy ones.
Yes.
Yeah, I love those ones.
Yes.
All the grandpas have those.
more important than the pajamas, slippers are hugely important. And I know there were all those stories during load shedding and I mean during lockdown where people would go to the shops in their slippers and their gowns, right? And it was like a South African thing, and it became what people did. And I think it was disgusting, but some people don't understand that you can only wear that shit at home.
But you don't understand. In a township, you have to wear that shit outside to show people that.
What do you mean?
What are you saying?
Hey, don't tell me you don't know that. They wake up in the morning to go buy fat cooks and bread with the whole kit, the pajamas, the robe, the slippers, and they must be matchy. And the funny thing is, the more expensive they are, that definitely you're going outside to buy the bread. I don't approve, but people do it.
Well,
I just think there must be a cutoff for that thing. After 8,
so I
think
so which slippers would you approve of, and which slippers would you disapprove of for yourself and for a man?
Okay, I think if they have that rubber thing, like the Uggs, sometimes they have. I know I'm not advertising, but there's one. If they don't have the rubber thing to walk outside, I mean, it says itself. Okay. I feel like, and also probably when you're going to the neighbor, if you're pushing it, but not to the mall.
Okay, so what about those ones with the lambskin,
the kitty
with the wool inside that you buy at Discount? You know those ones?
Please don't do that. Leave those things at home.
Which one? The one that are like animal prints and.
I have one of those, and I love wearing that in the house.
Oh yeah.
I do not leave the house in those things. I think they're cute. Like there's even the emoji ones. They're so big and whatnot. It's like
I know those ones.
But stay at home.
Yeah, me too. And also they are, sandals or flip flops, whatever it is you can wear. That is much more comfortable to go to the mall. But slippers, no. And more especially if you are saying it, don't try that at home. You are limiting your chances right there.
So Hardy Dave says this is an interesting thing too about what you wear when you go to sleep at night. No socks, he says. You can't wear socks in bed.
I wear them. There's no way.
Yeah, like, do you know how cold your feet get? And that's what keeps you regulated. I'm sorry, sir. I'm judging you. I'm getting in there. I actually have sleeping socks.
I think we are the same wavelength. Because also sometimes when you wake up to go pee, when you come back, the sheets are cold. Socks on. Socks on.
Well, Gabrielle says PJs. What if you have to rush to the hospital? So that's a good point. Like I've never thought about.
Gabrielle, I love it.
You wake up early in the morning or late at night and you have to rush to the hospital and you're not dressed, and it's going to take time, right, for you to get dressed again. If you're in PJs, you can go.
Let me tell you how my grandmother taught me, because this is something I'm trying to still follow through in life. She was like, what if you ever faint? What if you ever have to go to the hospital? It's very important that you have matching underwear, that it's not torn, that it's in good condition, and that at night you sleep with PJs just in case something happens, because somebody else will have to look at your body. And ever since she said that,
okay, right.
Take your life seriously.
Are you can imagine if you're like lying there and you're wearing boxes and like an old T-shirt with holes in it. You're like,
Oh my God.
And then there we come in. We're gonna judge you, Gareth. We're gonna be like, yo, this man, this is how you slept.
So if anything, please wear and buy your pajamas for emergencies. At least.
well, here's another good point. I mean, Congo Chris says, pro tip for the guys: you must always have pajama pants in case you have a lady over. She will ask you for them if she likes you.
I just told you, your men's PJs are comfortable. Comfortable. I don't know why, but men's clothes in general.
I was about to say, even the hoodies.
The hoodies. You just want to,
There's none else.
And when you love him, it's just, you want to take him and drink.
You two are so ready. The two of you are so ready for marriage. You two are so ready to settle down. I can just hear it.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, let the record state. We are single and ready to mingle.
Honestly, I was thinking about it. Someone said to me, Celeste, if you do a reality TV, what would it be about? I was like, maybe looking for a man.
That would be worth watching. I think.
So you do the Bachelorette?
I will. I think I can now. It'll be interesting because I don't think they've had a Bachelorette like me.
I think that would be lots of fun. I would watch that. You'd
Really?
watch it, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Like, I'd be like, roast him, girl. What did you just say?
Okay, it's fine. I think I finally decided I'm going to embarrass my mom.
Good.
Look for a man on national television.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You might actually find love.
Exactly. Oh my God. I think I'll do it. Honestly, someone offered to me and I was like, no, let's work. This is gonna be
there's a lot of reality TV where nothing happens. It's all just for the cameras, right?
Right. To go buy something. I feel like most realities, they've become adverts.
They have. But if this resulted in true love for Celeste Ntuli, we would know. This would be a show worth watching. Imagine.
Okay, all the guys
romance.
with nice zeros in their bank balance, can they?
So starting requirements is you need to have what 6 zeros at least.
Well, enough zeros for this big girl. I don't care about 6. Listen, I feel like money is all about how you use it. There are people with less money, but they live such an amazing life as if they have more. You know, but I'm not saying have nothing because hello,
Simphiwe doesn't make any bones about it. She's like, she will not marry some poor guy who she has to pay for.
No, let's not go poor, guys. No.
This is something women never admit. You two are, so I'm proud of you for doing this. But a lot of women will say, "Oh no, I'm not going to be with some poor guy." But then they want to talk about equality. Like a guy never, ever, unless he's a total like layabout, deadbeat, loser. If a guy ever says, "Oh no, I won't date her, she's too poor," I've never heard those words come from a guy.
No, because we are automatically rich.
But I will say the counter.
As women,
we
come with all these riches. We're gonna make you babies. That's rich. So please don't stop asking for zeros from us. I'm gonna make you something to spend your zeros, which is a baby.
So much for equality. Hey, good morning. You're on. There we go. We're taking live calls, by the way.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we can take calls. Yeah.
So you can call us, guys. It's 083-295-5769. It's me, Gareth, and of course my twin here.
There we go. Simphiwe, you're the twin this morning. How's that?
Yes.
Celeste,
I love it.
You should operate on that.
Short hair. Look, I know we're not the same, but I love the features. They're nice. Lovely skin, short hair. I think maybe in my bachelorette, I'll have a deputy bachelorette.
Thank you. The other ones you don't want, just pass them to me.
Yeah,
Good morning.
I'll be like, is this good enough for you, Sims?
There we go. You're on Cliff Central. Go ahead.
I just want to say I don't own pyjamas, but I have something important to share with you.
Go on.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day I called my cell phone provider, the network provider. I said, guys, I just want to know how much I owe on my contract so that I can just pay it off and cancel it.
Right.
He said, wait. Okay, you know what? We can migrate you to this better contract where you just, better package where you get what you need, like airtime. You're going to pay 95 rands less. I'm like, wait, are you sure? He said, yes. So I'm saving 95 rands less. So I'm suggesting anyone who owes something, just call them and say, you're going to cancel it. Maybe you get something better.
And then they actually offer you, because they don't want to lose you as a client, right? So they'll pay, they'll take anything. They'll offer you way more than you've got, and you'll get a better deal.
Yes. So
Wow.
try it and see if it works for you.
All right. I like that. So
I like this guy. This guy was like, you know what? I think I have an idea here. I'm going to tell everyone.
Hey, good morning. You're on. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. Where are you calling from? I see this is an international number. What's this?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm from Sydney. I was wondering if this would work. Wow.
Oh, look at this. Australia.
Oh,
Good morning, Australia.
Australia, down under. Good morning.
But it's not morning over there. What is your time now?
It's 2:45 in the afternoon.
Sure. Okay. All right. So
Oh.
you've already had most of your Friday. Your Friday is almost over.
I'm living in the future. So you want me to tell you what the lotto numbers that are coming out tonight?
Yes. Good.
Please, yes.
I love this guy.
Yeah,
What's up?
exactly. Living in the future.
So what's up?
No,
man?
I was just going to let you know that even this side of the world, there's men in pajamas they don't go together.
Yeah, but I think it's also when you live in a hot country, like pajamas don't make a lot of sense, even in cold winter, because our winter is very short, and I don't think men are particularly bothered. Like I don't think men are sitting there going, "Oh, poor me, I'm so freezing cold."
We're not bothered.
Yeah, so I think we just wear all the old shit that we don't get to wear the rest of the time, like the old t-shirts with the holes in them and the marks on them from food, or the old boxes that are not looking so great anymore. If you know you're going to bed on your own or with someone you've been with for a long time, you don't really give a shit.
It's the life cycle of a t-shirt. It comes new when it gets old. As soon as you can feel the breeze through the holes of the shirt, that's when you throw it out. Anyway, I'm going back to work. Thanks for a great show. Love you
Cheers,
guys.
man. Good of you to call. Yeah, it's all
that's
happened.
cool, man. I love the show. All right. I should have worn my lashes. People I forgot about this online.
It's international.
All right. So
I'm busy limiting myself.
we got a couple of news headlines today. So I don't know. Have you tried any of this Chat GPT stuff, this OpenAI, artificial intelligence stuff? Celeste, have you asked it to write some comedy for you yet?
No. I just, my sister told me about it. I was like, what?
No.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know. I feel iffy. I'm watching this thing on Amazon. It's called Upload.
Oh,
so it's like they made it so nice. It's a series, very dramedy, if you will. But it looks into the future where people are like, when you die, you have a choice. You can die the old way meaning how we are dying now, just go wherever we don't know. And then, or you can choose to be uploaded. So you die, but you get to be like some sort of an avatar. So it's the most, it's the most interesting, a series. I enjoyed it so much, but it's crazy how the futuristic things they show you. One guy walks into the pharmacy to buy just condoms, and then the actual voice, I don't know if it's a voice, but the pharmacy can scan you as you walk in. And then it says, you are low on sugar, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, wow.
You need calcium, you must buy this and the other. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Now this is...
Sure.
So I'm
That
not
would be
sure
so
when
clever.
it comes
Can
to
you
this
imagine if-
AI stuff.
I mean, this is such a great marketing idea for like a Clicks or Discam or whatever. If they had someone at the door who actually gave you a blood test or a whatever at the door for free, you would go in and you would buy a whole lot of shit.
Exactly.
And they would be able to sell you so much stuff because they'd say to you, oh, well, your blood pressure is low, so you need some of this. Yeah, you've got you've got like a skin issue, you should get some of this. If they had a little clinic, I mean, some of them do have a little clinic in them, but I mean, one that gives you a free test, right? And then you get all these like results, and it tells you what you need more of. That's such a clever idea.
But I feel like it's exactly where we're going, because some of the phones now can detect your heart rate and the
smartwatch and stuff like that.
Watch. So I think we are being slowly introduced to it. So that the GPT thing, I'm not sure, because I was also offered by someone to be an avatar. I'm like, so do you want to go and be on the what they call it? Is it multiverse? What they call?
Yeah, about multiverse.
It's a multiverse. I'm like, hey, I'm suffering in universe, so I don't know.
You're not
if I want to join the
We got a very serious comment here from Tabo, who wants to just throw in one last thing on the pajamas discussion. Tabo says, speaking from experience, men with big penises don't like pajamas because the junk wants to move freely.
Okay.
Wow. I think Tabo was more advertising more than commenting. Why does this comment sounds like an advert?
Good for Tabo. He understands how media works. All right, let's see who this is. Hang on. Let's get to this call. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Gareth. I heard you guys were talking about load shedding earlier on. Last night, I was driving in Jeffreys Bay. They like to hit us with a double whammy. So now the power goes off, and then you can't see where you're driving because, of course, the street lights off, and then you fail into a pothole. So then your tire's fucked. So it hits you with a double whammy. This country is such a shitstorm. And we 19 rand 78 to the dollar now. It's gone.
Listen, are you just trying to put us in a bad mood first thing on a Friday?
Please stop.
He's like, we are 90 watts. Let's say that again. Wow. We are 90 to the dollar.
Embrace it, guys. Embrace it. Really, it's really lovely living in Jeffreys Bay, and it's supposedly DA run, but. I don't know. It's just getting worse and worse. But
it sounds like you've got the same shit we've got in ANC-run municipalities. So I don't know if it's any better.
Exactly. No, it's not.
At this point, every other municipality.
What's that? Sorry, just say that again. Oh, he's gone.
No, I'm saying the only thing that Jeffreys Bay is proud of is the surfing. That's it. They've got waves. But that's all.
Are you a surfer? Because I've been to Jeffreys Bay. There's nothing much going on there if you don't surf.
There's fuck all going on. If you don't surf, you're a loser. You're not part of the world.
No, exactly. All right,
you're fucked.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Have a great day.
Ciao, man. Bye.
Thank you.
Sounds like a lot of aggro from Jeffreys Bay.
So, like at the winter time, there's no use for Jeffreys Bay because who surfers in winter?
Right, exactly. Okay, so the reason I brought up ChatGPT is because there's the story in the news this morning. The boss of the company behind ChatGPT has said it might consider leaving the EU if they fail to comply with a planned law on artificial intelligence. So the EU are planning to regulate AI. It could require AI companies to reveal which copyright material had been used to train their system. They've said if this happens, then they're not going to bring AI into Europe. So there probably will be parts of the world where they will just say, you're not allowed to use this, and whether that will be advantage or disadvantage, we'll have to see.
I feel like after watching that thing that I was talking about, I was like, I feel we need to have spaces or even countries, towns, whatever, cities that are not really all about AI, because for me, I'm glad this whole less human stuff is not good for me. I love human interaction.
Well, Celeste, I'm pretty sure that places like Pongola are not going to be like rushing to do AI.
Well, I will share this interesting fun fact that I learned yesterday at the marketing conference, right? This lady, after you spoke, Gareth, basically said that there's only about 10,000 people that can actually solve a major AI crisis at the moment.
You see?
Only 10,000 people.
And also, I think we don't ask.
And I don't think we have any South Africans on that list.
No. If it's 10,000, no, definitely we are not there.
Oh, sure.
And also, I feel like we also do not question if we need these things. You know what I mean? Like they can create the most amazing. Do you need this thing? Do I need to be an avatar and live in?
I could not agree more. I mean, to me, like we always invent stuff and then everybody goes, oh, I think I need that. But you don't actually think about that question. And then you end up having it and it's got no use in your life. You know, how many devices have you bought in your life? And how many things, like, I mean, I always bring this up, but that stupid air fryer, Simphiwe.
Yeah.
That was peer pressure.
Yo, the air fryer got popular. It was like a new song from everyone's air fryer.
I bought this thing and I had no use for it at all. And I realized like that is money I will never get back. I wasted money. I didn't need it. There are apps. When phones started, remember, you download.
Oh, you download everything.
You wanted all the apps, and then you realize, like after a while, like I'm not using these 200 apps that I've got on here. Delete.
No, I'm with you there. Like sometimes it's like, you know, those informationals. I remember my mom would buy a lot of stuff, and we'll have to figure out, even though they have the manuals, how does this work? Where does this go? Because like, I bought this thing, I don't even know, you know? When they start selling stuff to chop onions, I'm like, come on. Onions are like a relationship. You cry, but you move on. Just chop and cry.
And if life becomes too easy, like you say we get to the point where you've got a machine to chop the onions, you've got a machine that puts your clothes on in the morning, you got a machine that brushes your teeth for you, all of these things. Let's say you can do all of that stuff, right? And what is left for you to do? If people don't have enough, this is already a problem for so many people in the world today, is they're making up issues because they haven't got enough to worry about. They haven't got enough to do. And I think that humans need dumb, boring, repetitive tasks to keep us in line, like waking up at the same time, like doing exercise. The minute we don't have to do that stuff, or we think we don't have to do that stuff, we go backwards.
And you see this because when in the much more advanced metropole or cities, there's a lot of anxiety, depression, and because and seemingly we should be the ones that are having a comfortable life. But in rural areas, you go there, you say you are depressed, they're like,
what's that?
Explain to us.
They don't know what to do.
Explain to us while we go fetch the wood for the fire. Because
life is always moving.
I think that whole thing of not having tasks is also like as a problem. You can tell it even in a new generation of kids that didn't, Gen X. I see a lot of those TikTok videos where people talk about how Gen X's were able to go outside, play, we are too strong. And really it is, because now sometimes someone will say, how do you deal with trolls? I'm like, bruh, I used to fist fight.
Right,
That's
exactly.
That's like a written letter. I don't care.
Like you used
after
to meet
school is after school.
It was like, after school. In Twitter, there's no after school. So I feel like, but the younger generation is like really offended by the trolls. People go through therapy because of trolls. I'm like, quite honestly. And sometimes all it needs to do is to read other people's trolls, and you're like, oh well, I'm better.
Nice compliment for you from Tiger DC. She says, I love Celeste. In lockdown, she did an Instagram live where she spoke about women being damaged and taking responsibility for our healing. That IG live that she did was inspiring. Nice.
Oh my God! Thank you, Tiger. Thank you so much. I enjoyed my live IG lives on during lockdown. I did a lot of that, and someone said to me, "You must have a podcast." I enjoy when other people are doing it. I'm working on it.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be
asking me about it.
You wouldn't be the first comedian to have a podcast, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like everybody. And I'm feeling like now podcasts will start sounding or feeling like the same, because we're inviting same people to talk about the same things. And every other day, I open your social media, there's a podcast. But I think in the podcast space, we must remove microphones from most men.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh yes.
There's just way too bunch of men.
You think?
Man. And they all talk about how older women, I feel attacked because they always talk about me. Yeah, if you're in your 40s and you have dogs, and if your dog died, and my dog died, I bought a dog and it died. And I saw that I wanted to punch that person. I'm like,
what is this?
Yeah, you know, when you go check all the podcasts, they talk about how women in our 40s who are like me, that have kids, that have husband, how we're such a disgrace.
Really?
Yeah, because then we wasted our 20s. We should have, because our eggs were fresh there. They know everything about eggs and things.
Wow. Huh?
No, they know a lot about a woman's
they know
anatomy.
everything.
Gosh.
For me, I feel like they might as well be
This
just trans men because wow, at this point they're just women.
These guys are actively attacking like older women. I don't understand. Like, what are they going to get out of that? Because they're obviously not interested in the women, or else they're masking it very well. So what's the story? Why would they be attacking 40-year-old women? That's very weird.
Because you remember there was a time when women were told you are in an abusive relationship or you are in a wrong relationship because it's your fault. You chose the wrong man. You guys don't know how to choose. You guys don't have standards. You don't know how to scrutinize. And we were like, okay, we heard you. We are no longer going to ask for your money or profit. We're just going to ask for your personality and character. Here we are singing because now the scrutiny is scrutinizing and the meth is not mething. So
these guys are making angry and bitter podcasts about the women.
Yeah, exactly. There are tons of them.
Oh yes. Oh, Gareth, you must hear how they talk about ladies in general. It's frustrating, and I'm young, right? But they'll be like, women are only great when they're young. That's why we go for 21-year-old, because the 28-year-old is going to ask you things that have no business. And it's like, all I asked you was, are you financially stable?
Oh yeah.
Because let's not lie to ourselves.
Wouldn't you rather know that this is what some of those guys are talking about? Because now they're doing a podcast. Before, they would have had this conversation in the locker room and you girls would never have heard about it. So now you know what you're dealing with some of these guys, right? And not all guys are like this, but there are guys who do. They spend a lot of their time bitching about women because they are unsuccessful men.
Exactly. That's the point. So I feel like, yes, we want to know, but at this point we've heard enough.
Oh, is it too much? There's the market.
It's not even too much. It's like they're repeating the same thing, regurgitating the same thing, talking about body count, how many body counts. I'm like, I'm Zulu. I go through Lobola. They count body counts on Lobola. When they have Lobola, when they Lobola negotiations.
Oh, it gets rough.
Yeah, it gets rough. That's when your mileage is really scrutinized.
Gets a bit rough.
Forget about your degrees and whatnot. It's rough now.
You need uncles that can stand up for you, because wow, they will say things. The other family will be like, if they started off with 50,000, they're like 50,000 for Simphiwe. Why? She was with this man, this man, this man, this man. We saw her gallivanting. Let's take it to 30. You need uncles that are gonna be like, whoa, pause. Yeah, as you're talking about the 30, but have you seen that she can cook and do this and do that? And then it goes.
Basically, all these guys who do these podcasts that you're talking about are just having live lobola
negotiations
about women that don't belong to them. That's what they're doing, right?
Exactly. In a nutshell, that's what they're doing. Excuse the pun.
I've never heard one of these. You must give me some tips on which podcast to listen to. I haven't heard these. Maybe it could be quite entertaining.
They don't need the airtime.
Oh my God.
They really don't.
But my thing is, I won't lie. At first I thought, okay, well, let's see. Let's hear what you're talking about. What I do not like is when it's one thing to blame a woman because they're in a wrong relationship. It's another to blame a woman because they're not in a relationship. What are you worried about? Like, for me, it doesn't make any sense, that one. You know what I mean?
Either way, I don't even think it's okay to blame someone, because you don't know. Whatever reason someone has for being in a relationship is they have those reasons and you don't understand. You could look at it from the outside and say, oh, well, this man is an abusive guy. Why is she hanging around? But you don't know.
Exactly. But you know what I mean? I'm saying you can't complain about something that is not there. It's like people complaining about me not having kids, but I'm like, you're worried about the kid that is not there.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with you. I think, again, this is because people don't have enough to do, that they're involving themselves in other people's lives and relationships and all the rest of it.
They must go fetch wood.
A non-relationship. Yes, go and fetch wood is the theme of this morning. All right. It is 7:00. We'll be back in a moment, taking a quick break, and we want to hear from you. You can drop a comment in the comment section, and I think I blocked someone by mistake earlier, so I made a bit of a mess. I right-clicked, and then before I knew what was happening, I'd blocked someone. So if it's you, I'm sorry. We'll figure that out.
Every time you listen to that 80s show, Tom Cruise lives another 10 years. Every Friday on cliffcentral.com, Paolo and Dory review movies, reminisce about old songs, remember childhood places that are now car parks, and say some outrageously rude things about Patrick Swayze's brother. That 80s show, new episode every Friday, live or as a podcast on cliffcentral.com.
Up next in the Auto Trader podcast.
Will electric cars cause the next oil crisis? At least 20 years.
At least 20 years.
Before it's an immediate sort of issue.
Yes. So now you got to ask yourself, well, because we're definitely not going to have a scenario where suddenly overnight there's no more oil consumption. There's going to be oil consumption for the next 3 decades, at least. So after 2035, that is, because at the moment we're still producing ICE vehicles. That's if everybody complies. Catch us every Monday at 9 a.m. on YouTube and on autotrader.co.za.
All right. I hope you're off to a good start this Friday morning. We are live from Johannesburg, cliffcentral.com, and we've got Celeste Ntuli, and we've got Simphiwe, and we've got you, and we got me. So I hope you are having a good start.
I just saw how tall Ryan is. I'm like, Lord, you are tall even in your WhatsApp picture sitting down.
Please tell me he's not wearing the sleeveless West Rand top this morning.
No, he looks decent. He looks decent.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that.
He came in yesterday showing the tattoos and everything, and I could see one of our guests was like, what the hell's this? Anyway, I love it. It's character, right? You can, because dress code isn't a big thing at most companies anymore. It used to be a thing. People used to have to wear, suit and tie. If you were a woman, you had to wear a certain kind of outfit, which was acceptable in the office. I don't think any of that stuff matters as much now. I actually had this conversation with somebody just yesterday about how you know, if you look at these TED Talks and these presentations by people who are like these big business people from Silicon Valley or whatever, they're not wearing suit and tie anymore.
Nah.
They don't dress
Only
like that, right?
the salesmen and insurance brokers are left
Right.
with this. But and most people are working from home now, so I think they're wearing pyjamas to work.
There we go, back to pajamas. Suddenly we're in pajama world. But you're right. I think that the suit and tie thing has become almost like a bit of a it's like old school and traditional, and obviously there's a place. You know, I mean, like for example, I would never go to a wedding or a funeral and not dress properly because it's someone else's thing. But for the office now, I mean, there are very few occasions where I would necessarily have to wear a tie.
This is what I love about this generation. They can bring the AI, but the dress code thing is so cool. Everyone dresses and sneakers are on. Everyone dresses sneakers. Even women, most women, we don't have that much pressure that we used to have before to be on high heels all the time.
I will say I do judge. When you leave the house, I do judge. There was a guy who took a really great picture. He was at a wedding. I thought he looked amazing until someone's like pointed out the fact that he was wearing these tailored sweatpants, and I was like, no. I'm sorry, I don't like the outfit anymore. You don't look. I was like, how can you wear sweatpants to a wedding? So
do they have tailored?
Yeah, he did because it was stitched.
Oh, the ones that are the tight ones.
Yes,
the skinny.
Yeah, the skinny looking like. And I was like, no. You see, now you're disrespecting me at a wedding. No, how? No.
No.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I would have to see it to judge it.
Yeah, you know, the problem in South Africa is if you watch any of those documentaries about like the pre-apartheid South Africa and post-apartheid South Africa, like 94 to 99 or whatever, you see these videos of like people in that time and even before then, obviously, wearing those terrible tracksuits. It's the blacks and the whites. They all wore, you know, those fucking horrible tracksuits with the pink and the blue. You know those ones that you would buy the matching.
Yeah, the ones that were at bootlegged.
That's the one. And I'll never forget, like my one of the worst things is if you watch the documentaries on Chris Hani, and by the way, we're doing a breakfast with Justice Malala on Tuesday, which I'm very excited about. Justice is back in the country. He's coming to talk to us about his new book, which is all about Chris Hani and what happened there for real. It's a really interesting read, and Justice will be doing a live show with us on Tuesday, which I'll tell you about on Monday morning, but it's going to be lots of fun. Justice wrote about Chris Hani, and it made me think, and I went and watched some YouTube things about Chris Hani. And in the Chris Hani situation, Tokyo Sexwale was standing in the driveway, right? And Tokyo was like the family spokesperson at the time. This is 1992. And if you watch it, he's wearing one of those tracksuits that I'm talking about, which made me think of it now when you brought up the sweatpants. Because those tracksuits everyone had, from the Afrikaans kids at the Kletter school who were walking around without shoes on, to the smartest politicians, they were all wearing these tracksuits. Everyone.
I think they tried to bring them back at some point. I don't know which year. South African Olympics, that horrible. You remember those horrible tracksuits?
That was it.
I think that's what
oh my God.
I tried to bring them back via Olympics. South Africans were not having it.
So Congo Chris says the ones that say juicy on the ass. No, but those came much later. I'm talking about those. I'm talking about those ones that were made of that like shiny. You know,
yes,
shiny parachute.
They even make a noise going.
Those are the ones. Parachute tracksuits. I'm telling you, those were the worst.
Yeah. I think they tried to. Did I own one? I think I had one, the black one.
Yeah, but a black one was fine. It was those turquoise and purple. You know, those are the bad ones.
Wow, you chose the wrong color, turquoise and purple. I just saw them.
What's going on? What color blocking is that? Like,
yeah, but Simphiwe, this was the late 80s, early 90s. The people had no idea what to wear. If you watch videos of what people were wearing, you go and check on. You go. I'm sure there's someone on TikTok who's like trying to do a retro thing here. You will see, and you will be disgusted. You will be disgusted. There was a very bad time in fashion.
I know we've moved on in terms of dress code, but to be honest, when I watch Bridgertons and stuff, I think I'm obsessed with the 60s and the 70s fashion. They might have but I like how
They've glammed it up.
Yeah, they like the whole thing of putting it on together every time. For me, I was like, I don't know if I would keep up with it.
You mean?
But when I
'cause
see it, it's
I haven't
amazing.
watched Bridgerton, but that's like the 1700s, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying from that, it's a nice fashion. But my favorite one is the 60s and the 70s. I feel like
right.
the baby boomers got it right. The
like
bell bottoms.
If you were a woman in the 1700s, it would take you like half the day just to get dressed.
I think, thank God we couldn't, because sometimes those tafitas and piling up, me and Simphiwe will never.
Those corsets there.
Yeah, because I feel like for us black women in our shape, we will look like we are carrying the whole thing. Like we will look like we will look like we have a whole truck coming up behind us. It's too much.
Okay, but you like the 70s.
The 70s are cool. I feel like the 70s were cool. There was velvet, there was bell bottoms, there was it was such a vibe. No wonder they had, yeah.
No, I'm with you. You know what I think happened? Okay, so I think the 60s were terrible because it was all that like hippie, like tie-dye. Wasn't a great time.
No. The baby boomers, no.
No, but the 70s were cool. The 80s, again, were not cool. The 80s was all that.
Yeah.
The 90s were okay, and I reckon by the 2000s, people started dressing in a cool way again.
In a better way,
Yes,
yeah.
I was about to say the early 2000s, it was peak. The girls in the crop top, in the bootleg jeans.
Actually, that style is back on. The early 2000s, right? It's back on. So you see, bootleg jeans, the early 2000s fashion is kind of similar to the 70s.
Okay.
Yes.
When you look at it, it's like the style, the platform shoes, that I feel it's the dopest style.
I agree, and it's interesting that these things come back in like cycles, because this is why some people say you must never throw away your stuff, especially if it's like something that you really think stood out when you bought it, because sometime in the future it's going to come out again.
Yeah, a friend of mine's mom was like a fashionista of the time.
Yes.
She never threw anything away. Every time she rocked something, she's like, oh, this is my mom's stuff. She bought it in 1983. I'm like, oh, Lord, this is lovely stuff. So sometimes, you need to, but not everyone deserves to keep their clothes.
Mm.
Oh, no.
You must know that you are fashionable enough for us to remember the era.
Sanella says those tracksuits we were talking about. He said in primary school we had to have those tracksuits as part of our uniform.
Yes.
And putting her primary on blast. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Most schools had
Are you
them.
okay, Sanele? Like it sounds like you need a bit of therapy after that. Right?
And they were part of the uniform. So clearly he had no choice but to own one.
So it does sound like there's a cycle that the odd years are better fashion than the even years. So the 60s, 80s,
right?
There's actually every decade it either is terribly shit or really, really cool. So are we in a cool or a shit decade now?
Now, because nakedness is also part of clothing. So.
Then we are Yeah, no, I actually agree, because I'm thinking about this trend, right? I'm thinking about like this pregnancy trend that Rihanna has started, and I'm so mad.
When people show their stomachs
and they're performing now showing stomachs. I'm just like, no, this is not it. So we're in the pits, we're in the dogs.
Nah, I also don't like, and I feel like it's overrated, this whole check my body thing. I've never been pregnant, but I preferred and I loved it when it was kind of sacred. When you see a pregnant woman, you will be scared even to touch the stomach. You're like, oh, but now it's like, hey.
I think we already know the answer, because we started this decade in lockdown and with COVID. So we already know. So like 3 years of the 2020s were shit fashion because people made no effort at all.
That's true, hey.
I think in future, when people look back on this time, they're going to go,
Wow.
"Oof, those people had no class, they had no taste."
Yeah, they didn't, because people own Crocs. So valid. They don't have to. They don't.
Can I be honest? I just bought my pair a couple of months. Okay. I used to judge. All right. So I went to PE, and for some whatever reason, I had a show in PE, and I decided, let me just walk around the mall. And that's how I bought them, because it was not even an intentional thing, and not a planned thing. So I walked into the shop and I was like, they were so nice. You know that I know it's horrible because I also bought the tie-dyed one color.
Your story's
No,
getting
man.
worse.
But let me tell you something.
No, man. Celeste,
They
we're
are
very
comfortable.
unimpressed
They
with
are
you.
horrible
We're so-
and comfortable. Horrible and comfortable. I put them on. I'm like, and that thing is expensive.
Yeah, it's like 800 rand a pair.
No,
For those Crocs.
grand 200, grand 200, grand whatever. It is, but it is amazing. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Oh Lord.
Oh,
There are places I don't wear them at because I understand their reputation. But damn.
No,
Damn.
I'm judging you. I'm judging you heavy.
Before you judge me, pray that no one buys them for you. A friend of mine got them as a present. She kept them for some time. She's like, I'm not wearing this. Until one day she had to move houses. And you know, when you move houses, like, let me just wear these things. She never took them off. And now she's got like.
That sounds just like a cult following
Are
right
you-
there. Like, yo.
you saying that almost like these things have a magic. They have like a voodoo or something on them, because once you put them
I'm
on,
telling you.
they feel so good. You don't want to take them off. Is that the truth?
It's the truth. I agree. As horrible they are, as they are. Oh my God, they're amazing. Like,
Oh my
I understand you, Superior. Don't worry. I get where you're coming from. I was like you before I got converted. Yeah. Wow. Now I'm like, I have to, ask myself whenever I want to put my foot on them. I'm like, no, you wore them yesterday. Just stop.
It's like a spell. It's like they've cast a spell on you.
And the cutest thing is those little things that they sell, the ones that are, the emojis. Because I bought the nice one. And my show, Money and Men, I used the emojis, the brinjal and the money bag. So I got both. I'm like, that looks like my show. And
Yes, you use the brinjal. I'm gonna just put this picture up because this is a good one. It's from your show. I want people to see this. So talking about.
So I got the exact emojis I used for my artwork, and I was like, I'm definitely wearing this.
So you have those on your Crocs. That's amazing.
Yeah, I have them on my Crocs.
Where do you even buy those things? Where do you buy those like emoji?
At the Crocs shop, and now the emoji things are there. Yes, you see. So I yeah, eggplant and the money bag. I used both. So, but the thing is, let me tell you though, those things are expensive. Now, when you buy those actual things, because you have to pin them, they're like 150 rand each, or 50. I think it's 150 or 50 rand.
And that's just to decorate your Crocs.
To decorate, because you buy them as they are, and then now you go to the whole shelf where you select the, aeroplanes, fruits, things. You see, 100% Crocs are comfy as fuck. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you. Ugly and comfortable. They're like a reliable wife.
There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people in the comments. There are a lot of people in the comments who say that they are terrible. Kampamba says they're just too comfortable. So he's on your and Steve's side. Crocs are like a virus. Once you get the disease, you give up on life.
Let me be honest, right? I get those. The horrible part of them, I get. But don't just wear them. I'm telling you right now. If you hate them, don't even try. Don't even go into the shop. Because it only takes one fitting. That's how dangerous they are.
I'm not trying to be convinced.
No, you're traumatized. You will never get into Crocs because you've decided they're bad, right? You will never.
Those things are horrible, okay? Absolutely atrocious. I wish the person that invented them did not invent them. But what's worse is that my niece got her first pair of Crocs, right? She was gifted them. Did I not almost throw the pair out? Because I was like, what the hell? We're not indoctrinating my little niece at the age of 2 with Crocs. Excuse me. No, sir. Because what is that?
You're even deciding for other people that they shouldn't be allowed to have Crocs.
Yes, as long as I'm in the room and I get to have a say, no Crocs, no Crocs whatsoever.
You know what's in Simphiwe? They even have now the winter version.
Where they have the world is coming to an end.
The fluffy thing inside.
Guys, the world is coming to an end. Let's repent. Like, please, no, this can't be it. We can't be here. We can't be here. No.
No, but can I one thing about them, even if you don't wear them anywhere else, traveling, they are the best. You know, in a plane, you don't want to walk around bare feet. Maybe if it's a long flight,
Definitely.
you can wear your socks, shove that thing in there. You don't have to be that personal about them, Simphiwe. Okay.
I think, you know what, Celeste? I think
they like pyjamas.
You've been taken over. Your world has been completely devoured by Crocs, and you are just one of those. You're one of those Croc people now. Simphiwe and I are just never going to be convinced about Crocs. I just don't think it's going to happen.
So Simphiwe and you are like men in pyjamas. You know, you're not convinced.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. See, it's not just us. Congo Chris says, I refuse to date someone who wears Crocs.
Oh my God.
I love that for you.
I only have one pair in my defense.
That's how it starts.
I only have one pair.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Hello, this is Craighead Thompson. Gareth Cliff, I heard you got a lab. Can you do me a favor? Can you cook me up some crack? Can you do that for me, brother?
All right, you lunatic.
Oh my God.
We also cater very much to the mentally ill on this show as well.
Gareth, you are really, really famous. Your fans are everyone.
All over the place. It's embarrassing, right?
That's hilarious.
All right. Well, I mean, it's Friday, so all entertainment is welcome. So Homotso says, I hated Uggs, but now I live in them.
You've given up on life. You've given up. I'm sorry. You've given up on life, and I'm just like, there's no saving you now.
All I'm saying is, don't try them. That's all I'm saying. They are that dangerous.
Say less. I'm not even trying to try them. No.
Something like that can become so addictive in your life. You eventually go to your cupboard and you go, I don't need any of these other shoes. Those are the ones I want.
I know people who have ones that are glittery, winter one, camouflage, black one. They even, listen, a friend of mine once said, if you're not careful, you will want to wear these things with suits.
Yeah, one day it's going to happen. Someone's probably already doing that. There's someone.
I hated Uggs. I live in them. Even Uggs as well. Uggs and Crocs. But Uggs are beautiful. Who hates Uggs?
So, I'm to be honest, I'm not a big shoe guy unless it comes to sneakers. When it gets to sneakers, then I'm 100% down. Then the way you're talking now, if you just replace the word Crocs or Uggs with sneakers, then I'm exactly the same as you. So it just shows you how people can a small variation changes.
Yeah, I know you. So you're a sneakerhead.
Huge.
You're one of those. You know which one is coming in, which one is in.
I do.
Wow.
I love that. I love that stuff. I cannot help myself, even if, and I'm not a window shopper at all. I never go to the shops unless I'm going to buy something. I never just like walk around and look. But with sneakers, if I see a shop that has something new in it, or there's some cool looking sneakers in the window, I will go in and have a look. I might not buy anything, but I'll go and have a look. So I break my own rule.
All right, so I think I will limit my love for Crocs because I might sabotage my dating game.
I think that could be the source of your trouble, Celeste. I think that's what we're looking at this morning. That's why it's not working. All right. So apparently, a couple of things. Did you ever watch the show The White Lotus?
No.
No.
It's like this huge show, very, very popular on, I think it was on Netflix. I'm not sure which one it was. Either way, the White Lotus was a very, very popular show. And you know this woman, Jennifer Coolidge, she won the Emmy Award for Best Actress for being in this show. I'll put up a picture of Jennifer Coolidge. So apparently the manager of the hotel that they filmed this at says she actually is really like her character. So she's not even acting. That's how she is in real life. She's a bit ditzy and like not all there, and she says really weird things, and she's a bit paranoid, and so this is Jennifer Coolidge. So this is the woman that we
okay.
Stifler's mom, right? So she was in the White Lotus, and this hotel manager reckons that you got to watch.
I know her.
Yeah. So he says that apparently she is just like that in real life. She's exactly what you see on TV. The guy said, referencing the obliviousness of her character that aided at a series of unfortunate events in the second season. Throughout the show, she often believed the best in people and failed to see when she was being betrayed by her new group of friends and her husband. So speaking to one of the magazines in December, she said that the show's creator was inspired by the way that she is in real life. So made it into part of the character. And I thought that was pretty interesting because for people who've watched the show, she's so weird on the show. She's so bizarre.
Really?
But in real life,
I kind of get that. Sometimes I go on auditions and people will be like, "Can you do this character in Celeste?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I had to get that direction used to throw me off, and because I've gotten that type of comment or request so many times, I had to understand what is that, because I don't know myself. I'm just going about my life. So when someone says, please, bring a bit of Celeste in a character, I'm like, what do you mean? So I think I understand what could have happened there.
It's also because you have such a big personality that it's difficult for other people to see you playing a role. Like imagine, Celeste really playing this role of this very quiet, and I know you have this very quiet, very subdued, very like does what she's told, a bit sort of like soft and maybe even someone who's going to take other people's shit. I don't see that in you at all, because we've had you on the show a couple of times, and I know you pretty well. Yeah. But a lot of people, when they see you, they won't even think of you for that role because they don't associate it, and so you probably miss out on work because you've got.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's true, because even the last character I played, it was supposed to be that docile and stuff, but the directors were like, nah, can we have a little bit of humor, a little bit of, and I saw her now getting the leading positions in a council, whatever, and I became a bit of like a council member. So I think I understand where you're coming from. Like, people don't want me to get, but I think that's what I'm working on. I want next character I'm going to play. I want you guys to actually, you're gonna get shocked. I think that's
I would love, because I know you can, and I think a lot of people struggle to see that part of you, because an actor, the whole point of being an actor is that you can play different roles.
Exactly. And I loved acting, and I know I'm a comedian, right? But as a comedian, we are lucky enough to express ourselves, and then you become you on stage. As much as you tell the stories and blah, 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 and change from different characters, but there's a lot of you in it. But with acting, it's nice that you get the chance to be Gareth. Imagine they say, think and act like Gareth. So it's
I mean, listen, I've never been an actor. I'm a shit actor. I would be terrible at it, but if that's your craft, if that's your profession, the whole fun of it is that you should be able to inhabit these different characters. So I love this. I just want to go to this comment quickly from Sanele. He says, Simphiwe has always been attractive, but she is now extremely attractive after her Crocs comment. A Crocs enemy is a friend of mine. I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you, Sanele.
So, Mac Sony wants to know, ladies, ask the twins in the studio, what are their views on men and skinny jeans? Please, I would love to hear what they say.
Oof.
You want to start?
Wow, okay. Wow. There are skinny jeans, and then there are those ones that are just like, way too skinny. I think I prefer. I don't mind them, but there's a limit. I don't know how they size them up, but I would say skinny guys and skinny jeans. No.
Yeah.
Give us
Okay.
calves. Give us legs.
So it doesn't really. It's not about the jeans. It's about the guy in the jeans.
Thank you. You see, it's like African men with shorts. Only Afrikaner men can pull that off. Otherwise, if you're the other man, we might ask you.
What's going on?
Because the whole thing is the showing of those calves and those thighs that look like rugby strong. It's like, now that's what we want. So check your legs. We don't mind the jeans.
But also don't have them like halfway down your butt.
Oh yeah.
Like, please, we are grown. We are adults now. Like, have a belt on, have them by your waist, and that will be so much more appreciated.
Yeah. Because otherwise,
is it ever appropriate for men? A lot of girls wear their jeans quite low. They they sometimes or they have. Let's just say they have a very narrow sort of band over the top, and then they become. It's all leg otherwise. If a guy is there a limit to how low a guy's jeans can? If you see any crack at all, that's gonna put.
Oh no, let's not see the crack
at all.
Not at all. No, we don't want to see the crack. We don't want to see the Andes. No,
I don't want to know if you're wearing boxers or if you're wearing your underwear, full bloomers. I don't want to see anything. I just want to see jeans. That's it. Just a jean. That's
all right. So I think we've got an answer, Max Sony. So he wanted to know. Here it is. It all depends on whether you have the build, you have the legs to pull off skinny jeans. If you do not put them on.
And I the ones that are the worst are the skinny guys and skinny jeans. I know, and Crocs.
That is a horrible combination. Oh my God. That is horrible. All right. Apparently, for those fans of the 70s, like Celeste, very bad news. ABBA, the band ABBA, have ruled out a reunion on TV on the 50th anniversary of their win, because they originally won Eurovision all those years ago. And people are saying, maybe ABBA will perform again. ABBA's like, no. I love these guys because they've been offered so much money to do a reunion, and they're just like, no, we're not going to do it.
There are guys that did the Christmas song, right? I think they're popular. There's a song that when we were growing up, I know ABBA because Merry Christmas. Not that one.
You're thinking of Boney M. You're thinking of Boney M.
Okay.
ABBA's like Mamma Mia and Dancing Queen.
Mamma Mia, we go again. Na. You don't have my white songs.
What are your other white songs? I'm curious.
It's Pink song.
Which one?
Nothing on the sunshine. Na. Tell me that na from the beginning. You know what I actually my niece put me on that song. It's a Pink song. It's Blame It on the Sunshine. Let me I wanna get the title right.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, that song is dope. Yeah, it says cover me in sunshine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Pink.
Okay.
Oh, so lovely. I love it.
Okay.
Pink and Willow.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I'm old school. I'm still like white chicks, like
of course. Standing on
What is that called? Making my way downtown.
That's my song.
But I'm telling you, it's nice to get drunk with white girls. They are just amazing. You know, they're just my God.
Listen, the Wayans brothers, that movie is still one of the best. I love that movie so much. It is so funny.
Talk about my mama.
I think my sisters, every time we're together, we watch that movie. Like, it's crazy how it is still funny.
I love it.
And we've been waiting, thinking they're going to be the second one. I'm waiting to see that. That song is a bang. Yeah!
Yes, Tango
My
Chris,
pink song.
Tango Chris totally agrees with your white girl songs. Love it.
My white girl song is nice. Actually, my niece put me up on that one. So now we did, like, I feel like it's also special because I danced with her on it. Are we sure Celeste and Simphiwe ain't related? Didn't I tell you that we twins?
There we go. Now you know. Everybody, the big reveal was right here on this show. We finally found out who Simphiwe's sister is. I like it.
No,
I knew we'd have fun with you two on the show today. I thought it was going to be a really good
I know. This is the second time we did the show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's amazing. Right? I was like, when Ryan told me that Sims is there, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Gareth doesn't put up.
Gareth can just sleep. It's fine.
Gareth doesn't matter.
We got this.
I don't even think I need to be on the show this morning because you two are having so much fun.
Because we could be having all sorts of men asking us all sorts of questions. You see, some people already have a man that likes the fact that she doesn't like Crocs.
Let's do this. So, gentlemen, in the comments, it is your chance now to get honest answers. You know how they used to do that ask a man thing on Metro?
Oh yeah. Ask a woman this time.
So this morning is ask a woman with Simphiwe and Celeste. So go on, gentlemen. Now's your chance to get an honest answer from these two honest women about real questions that have been bothering you. So go ahead, guys. Like we had the skinny jeans question earlier, you can now ask whatever you want, and Simphiwe and Celeste have promised us they'll give us the truth. The whole truth.
Even if you were thinking to open up a podcast, ask us.
We'll tell you it's no. I can tell you now. No. It's a no.
I like
KB's come up with a good name. It's called Ask the Twins. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay,
Wow.
George Meany, who is going to be on the show with us in just a couple of minutes, wants to know, ladies, would you buy high heel Crocs?
Hell
I
no.
think it's a no, even from a Croc person at this point.
Ooh,
Don't push it.
Can I also just add?
Okay.
There was a time where they tried to introduce like high sneaker
Sneakers.
heels or whatever. That's also a no. We're not doing that. We keep heels, sneakers.
High heels. Yeah, those were the ugliest things, and they were big on the East Rand, weren't they?
You cannot say. I rebuke that one.
I was not there, but I think I agree with you, Gareth. It does looks like an Israel thing.
You see, the nice thing about Ask the Twins is that they're not going to agree all the time. I mean, here Celeste is agreeing with me that they come from the East Rand. By the way, those shoes, I remember there was this. I saw a girl in a fight once outside a club. She was in a proper fight. Like you were talking about Gen X. Just Celeste, we're of the same generation. So you and I know these things. When people weren't scared to actually hit each other, not just like troll each other on Twitter.
Oh yeah, and literally you will know that you're gonna get beat after school. Imagine after school. Oh yeah, they've told you already that after school.
Yes.
So now you are in your geography class going, wow. When this finishes, I must roll up my sleeves.
And for the girls, take the earrings out.
You have to. But wait, you're saying...
And you must wear, if you're a girl and you're a fighter at school, even your friends will ask you, what type of underwear are you wearing? Because you don't want to be flying out with your skirts.
Yeah, and your titties might fly out when someone grabs your bra. But yeah, shit's going to happen. I know. So I saw this girl fight, right? It was outside a club in the East Rand, and one of the girls in the fight had those high heel type sneakers, those gross. They looked like almost like the plastic had melted or whatever.
Wow.
You know?
Can I tell you one thing? I already know that girl's not a fighter. Because you know why? Real girls, first thing they take off heels. Earrings, and then they're like, let's go, I'm gonna beat you up. So that one who still had her shoes on, she can't fight.
Yeah.
She can't fight.
If girls are taking things off, nah. Nah.
There's a better fight. Quiz the Queens is what they want to call it.
Oh.
For the last few minutes or so. All right.
Gareth, there's a lot of a show coming up there, you know.
Okay, so here we go.
I think I'm coming here tomorrow.
Migs wants to know, ask the twins, should men ever shave off their armpit hair?
Yes.
Yeah, I think yes. I mean, look at
really.
Well, if you don't have like, there's one that you like. Okay, you can tone this one down. That if you are too hairy,
you're looking like a whole monkey here, but no, that's not cute. You know,
You're too hairy now.
I'm not saying you have to be completely like hairless, but I think it's just good manners to take care of your
Trim,
body and
trim,
trim. So
trim.
yes,
But
definitely.
under the arms trim?
Yes. Have you seen? Okay, it's winter now, so I can forgive. But when it's summertime and when it's time for us to go to the pool, what's gonna happen when you jump in and you're like, then all we just see? No,
And it's not even a
trim that.
jumping in. The hug becomes a
Trim
problem.
that.
The hug becomes a problem because also, have you seen? Did you see that there's a movie where there's like the men playing basketball and then the one with the most hairiest hair gets sweaty, and then whenever they hug, I was like, If you know that you have too much hair, please control.
Get rid of that thing. No.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, this is good. What about women who still wear the onoroko?
Onoroko.
Yeah,
It's a
you take. Yes, you're taking me to my grandmother's days. Okay, all right.
But let me tell you something about those honorokos.
And those ladies.
The ladies in honorokos had
Then your
husbands pay
things.
for their houses, okay? So probably there's something in the honorokos because here we are with no honorokos. People can't even take us on dates.
Oh,
So
let me tell you.
I think we must go back to the
Oh.
honorokos maybe.
Yeah, or the petticoats, as my grand would say.
Yes, a petticoat, yes.
But they also had this ring. This
Exactly.
It's a 3-piece gold ring. You see, those ladies never got divorced.
Ever.
Zero divorce
Ever.
rate.
Zero divorce rate.
Stop nonsense. That thing.
Yes.
Hang on. So this is also stop nonsense. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Hey.
so
That
Simphiwe,
ring.
are you saying that the women who have those 3 rings also have an
Yes.
onoroko?
Of course, it goes together.
It goes together.
It
Let me
goes
te-
together.
In fact, let me tell you.
You might
for a
even
successful-
throw in Crocs there.
for a successful marriage, let me tell you, you get that it's a gold, it's gold, it's a
gold,
3-piece
and then
gold.
inside there's a bit of a silver diamondish
Yes.
thing going on. It's
You
huge.
have the honoroko. That's number 2. Ne?
Mhm.
Then you get they say the gone forever that when you get lobola,
Yeah.
they give you that coffin lookalike thing,
Exactly.
right?
Mhm.
You get that. I promise you, those ladies have never zero divorce rates.
And
Zero.
what do you call that thing that you just said? Gone what?
It's a gone forever.
Gone forever, yes.
That thing.
The gone forevers. Ooh,
What is that?
it's a kiss
Yes,
when you're
basically.
getting married.
And they
And
give
it-
that to you.
Yeah, but it also symbolizes that they say this is your coffin. This is how you're gonna come out of this house. Yeah, it's very creepy, but they call it's romantic.
Yeah.
Like-
I promise you, that's a pack for marriage. You guys are going to no divorce.
Let's
No
just go through
divorce.
it again. Let's just go through it again because there are a lot of women who are listening right now who want to know if they're in a forever relationship. First
Okay.
thing, the 3-ring.
Honoroko.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
the ring must
It has to
three piece. Don't
Okay.
not 2. Yeah,
Not
but
one.
not, and it mustn't be thin, thick bands,
Oh, it
thick
must,
bands.
it must come up to
like
yeah,
it must
your
sort of
knuckle.
like cover your whole finger.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right.
And like yeah,
That's number 1. Number
that's
2.
number 1.
Onoro.
Yes, petticoat.
Mm.
And if it's beige, you are on the right track.
You're a keeper. You see that one? Yo.
Don't try to be fancy here with your white on the
Who are you?
beige and black. You
And number
keeping them in.
3. And number 3, you have a gone forever. a
Gone
kiss.
forever.
Yeah.
The kissed, yes. And it must be in proper wood, shiny. You know, the ones that have, what do you call this thing? The way they paint the wood
Yeah,
thing.
that thing.
That thing. It must
Oh
be
my
that shiny.
God.
And with gold handles.
Yes. Ooh,
With gold
the
handles.
gold
It
handles
must
are
come
very
in with gold
important.
handles. You are never going to get divorced.
It's-
There's no slave queens shall prosper in your marriage
Hey.
when you have that.
Yes. Oh,
Throw in a duke. Thank you, KB. Throw in a duke. Thank you. And
Okay.
nowadays, throw in a Crocs there. Thank you very much.
So wait, let me also say how you know as a man that you have a keeper, ne?
Mhm.
Right? Because this is when you're married and you're like, this is how I know my marriage is going to be a success. How you know as a man that you have to take her to like an event one day, like
Yeah.
you know, umsebenzi.
Oh, and yes, they only go to sevens those
Yes,
ones.
yes. Then she'll have to do. Firstly, she must ask you what time are they peeling, they chopping.
Exactly.
And then you know I have a keeper.
Stop. For people who don't know, Sebenzi. Work.
It's
Traditional do whatever the
traditional-
slaughtering, whatever.
maybe it's a
So,
funeral. Maybe you guys are doing lobola things. Maybe you guys are doing a ritual. So
Yeah.
it's just umsebenzi, just
Yeah.
umbrella
Right.
term, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying
Okay.
you must take her to one of those before you get married, just to see how she interacts.
And actually,
right?
that's how they see if you qualify. If you can make it through them sebenzi.
You're a keeper, right?
You're a keeper.
So the first question she must already ask is, when are they peeling?
Exactly.
So if the Msebenzi is on Saturday, that means there's peeling on Friday. So she must be there on Friday to peel and cut. So if she's not there for the peeling and cut, hey, she could go. But then on the day of, she needs to be there at 6 o'clock. And this is the attire. A duk, right? She must wear a duk. And she wears the onroko. But now she must wear a dress. It doesn't have slits. It doesn't show the arms. It's just a normal dress, ne? And then she must have an apron.
On top
her
of
own
dress.
apron. If she does not own an apron, that lady.
You are not serious about business. You can't be like your boyfriend.
And then I'll tell you, step further, the apron needs to have pockets.
Yeah.
That's where she puts all her knives, the things that she needs to get away, change and whatnot. Yeah.
So I feel like you guys were complaining about those men podcasts where they talk shit about women. Well, I feel like this is like the most educational podcast ever for men. They're going to figure it out. They will never make a bad decision for marriage ever.
I'm just telling you. That's how you know.
The last half hour of this show is it's a guidebook to every man who wants to be happily married. Umsebenzi. All right, so listen. There's just one other comment I want. George Curtin says here, Onoroko needs silk stockings, church aunties. Mara, those are white shoes.
This one is on the money.
Do that again.
This one is on the money. You're going, and the thing is, once you have that attire, when there's events, those ladies, you know that they are good wives because why? They dish for their men as if they are home. Not that whole. Let me just go grab a plate and fix him something. They could be dishing from the buffet, but when you look at her man's plate, you're like, oh my God, where did she get all of that? I mean, how she put it all together, put it in a tray. Even when they do the tray thing, they don't just do the tray; they put the the tablecloth, whatever, dishwashing cloth on top of a tray before the plate. It's the whole thing.
Also, all I'm just saying, since Celeste and I know these things, we make good wives. I'm just saying. The fact that we know these things.
But you guys are missing the 3-piece ring, the onoroko, and have you got an apron? Have you got a dress?
I got an apron. I'm waiting.
I got an apron. I have an apron with pockets where I can put my knives. I already know about the schedule of the peeling. You know what I mean? All I'm just saying.
Your value are going right up. Your values, both of you, are like all the way up. Congo Chris says 100 kettles for a 3-piece lady. Finish and clap.
That's it.
You see what I mean?
That's it.
Even on your lobola negotiations, they be like, she has an honor rock.
Yes.
So please. We need those. We need those 30 cows. She has an honor rock already.
My God, I love it. All right, listen, let's get to George Meany. Let's find out what's going on with our good friend George. George, where are you today? In the Auto Trader studio?
No, I'm in my garage.
Look, how cool! How cool does that look? Look at George's garage.
It looks cool.
Is your car charging?
The neatest, tidiest, most organized garage. Oh.
Wow. You're such a neat guy.
I told you last week, Gareth, I moved my gym up to where I had this studio desk. So studio desk had to be relegated to the garage.
No problem. It looks good, George. So first of all, George, aren't you impressed by all the things we've learned from Celeste and Simphiwe in the last bit? Huh? This is useful information.
Very useful information, Gareth. I was fearing the high yield Crocs, but you saved.
No. All right, so what do you got for us this week, George?
First thing is, what is the worst way you've ever been woken up?
Can I tell you? My grandmother would just walk in 4 o'clock in the morning, bang the door, and then she's playing gospel music, blasting, and then she's like, "Hey, it's time to clean," and that's how I've been woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
My mother used to walk into our bedroom, open the curtains,
and the sun would just.
No, that's horrible.
It's time to get up. It's time to go to school.
No, I also had my granny that does that. Like, open up the curtains and they make sure that the sun just goes directly into your eyes. Go, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's horrible. No, that's what. Why do you have a worse way, George?
Yeah, so somebody in Oklahoma City, a woman in Oklahoma City was sleeping quite calmly in her bed when this drunk Ford Explorer driver lost control of his vehicle, went through a fence, through her front garden, through her wall in her bedroom, and bumped her bed, knocking her out of the bed. So by the time the car had come to a stop, there were no major injuries to her, but she fell out of the bed with this Ford Explorer crashing into her bed.
Oh,
wow.
That is an absolute shocker. I mean, what would you do, Celeste? I'm sure that you've had crazy shit happen to you in your life, but you've never had anyone drive into your house and knock your car.
I think by the time I'm being knocked off, I'll be like literally fainted, or if I'm not if I die. Yeah. No, that's scary more than anything. And also, I think my neighbors, black people will be like, go check with the traditional healer. This is not on.
Must doom
sebenzi for that.
All right, George, what else?
And then a Colorado driver, Gareth, he was drinking and driving. Now, I mean, you should never drink and drive, but he was drinking and driving. But why he was pulled over was because he was doing more than the speed limit. He was doing 52 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. So that's 82 kilometers an hour in a 50-kilometer-an-hour zone. So the cop pulls him over, and the cop sees him wriggling around in his car through the back windscreen. Cop starts to walk towards the car, gets to the car, and realizes, let me show you this picture, realizes that the guy had changed seats with his dog.
Wow. Talk about trying really hard to not get into trouble. Oh, for God's sake. Listen,
that's the best picture ever. Even the house is...
I remember I once saw an accident in front of me, and there was this car with these 4 Indian guys in it, and they did a swap, because the police were right in front. The guy who was in the driver's seat swapped round to the back passenger side. It was like this in instant. It was like, I don't know, 1 a.m. or something. So they were drunk, but
the
least drunk guy swapped over to the driver's seat. The police didn't even see it. They didn't even know what happened. So people are thinking fast, even if they're drunk.
Yeah, people are thinking fast. I mean, this guy was drunk with his dog. I mean, who would think that a policeman would fall for a dog in a driver's seat?
Oh, the policemen in this country are stupid enough to fall for that. They'd go,
no, it is. They're just gonna ask, do you have something for me? Do you have a drink?
and the dog would be like, yes, I've only got 50.
My thing is, how did he park and then the whole thing to change and put the dog in? Even the dog is suspicious at this rate, because how did the dog know he can chill like that in the driver's seat? Look at that dog.
It looks posed. So George, there's another George who says, no experience, but I think a wake-up kiss while you're in prison is the worst way to wake up.
Oh my God.
Have you got experience there, George?
Well, he says no experience, but you never know. All right, what else is there?
So some good news. The petrol price is probably going to come down. It's expected to come down in June by R1 or even R1.30 per litre. So paraffin will come down by 80 cents, but fuel that we use in our cars will come down by R1 or R1.30 depending on the fuel we use. So
thank you.
A bit of relief. I mean, it's not much. The fuel price is still bloody 23 Rand. It's ridiculous.
Celeste, don't you drive a car that still runs on paraffin? I heard you had
I wish. I so wish that runs on paraffin. Oh my God.
Do you have a
My
Do you have
aunt
one-
our neighbor had a man that uses paraffin. You know, I grew up in rural areas, so they used to fix the radios.
Yeah.
You know those stereo radios. So
Yes.
he used a lot of paraffin. So this time he cheated on her, and then she was so angry, and she came and said, "You are not using my paraffin because the paraffin was used to fix the radio, so that he can make money." She's like, "You are making this money using my paraffin, and now you're cheating on me. I'm taking my paraffin away."
I love rural fights about paraffin is my favorite. Friday morning. A Primus. Have you ever had a Primus?
Primus stove.
A Primus stove. I think most people are going back to that now with load shedding.
You have to. A Primus.
Oh my God. That thing smells. And now you're chowing your egg and your egg smells like paraffin. You're like,
You need it though. Primus. I'm telling you, we all need that. All right. What else you got for us, George?
That's it, Gareth. I'm
Beautiful.
going to enjoy my Friday just like you guys.
Good.
So,
What are you flying or driving or piloting this weekend? Any strange automobiles or flying machines or anything like that?
no, I'm stuck with my iPace. Unfortunately,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong
Nothing
with that.
wrong.
Fully
George,
charged at the moment. I'm going
just
to Pretoria.
one other quick thing. Someone sent a message in the comments section this week about like someone borrowing a car. Now, how many people? I mean, maybe you can find this out for us for next week. How many people in South Africa have a spare car? I don't think that's a thing that, except the very rich. Like, who has a spare? Yeah, a spare car. Like, who's rich enough to have a car that just sits in the garage? Unless you are really, really wealthy and you have a like weekend car or whatever, people don't have spare cars to lend anybody. I'd be interested to know if you've got any research on how many cars, you know, the average person has, because I'm sure it's one or minus one for most people.
Yeah, I mean, if of the people that have cars in the country, so the people that have jobs and have cars in the country, I think the last time I saw this number, it was 1.2 or 1.3 cars per family or something. But I'll try and find out. I'll try and find out and bring it back.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you.
It'll be a nice spec to ask what type of man are you looking for? A one with a spare car.
There we go. That's what you want. So, a big thank you to Celeste Ntuli who joined us.
Yeah,
this morning.
thank you.
Celeste. And I'm very, very happy to see you. You made me laugh so much this morning. I think my day couldn't have got off to a better start. You and Simphiwe were on fire this morning. All right, Simphiwe, we'll see you next week. George, we'll see you next week. Have an excellent weekend, everybody. Cheers. Bye.